Are you a runner trying to avoid injury? Do you feel stiff after you run, or maybe you just got back into the routine of running and you just feel tight and you feel like you might hurt your calf or your foot, or you're just trying to avoid injury, and the last thing you want to do is take time off because you hurt yourself? If so, this video will be great for you. I'm Dr. Ian Putney from Wellington Family Chiropractic, and today I want to talk about a research paper that was done in 2002 in the Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery, where they looked at runners and the correlation between gastrocnemius tightness and injuries to the foot. So a gastrocnemius is just the calf muscle here, and what they found was that if you had really tight gastrocnemius or just tight calf muscles, you were 3 times more likely to have plantar fasciitis, metatarsal pain or pain in the foot, and then stress fractures of the foot. So that's a big deal. And a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people, most runners know we need to work on our hamstrings. Just the general population, when you talk to them, it's like, yeah, my hammies are tight. If I ask somebody like, hey, are your calves tight, or is your ankle got good mobility? They don't typically know because it's not something we think about. But we know that if those areas are tight, then you're 3 times more likely to have injury if you're a runner or you're somebody that's trying to get into running. So this is going to be a video on how to stretch those areas out and what I do to try to keep them as loose as possible. So the first one's just a standing stretch, and then I'm going to show you how I use a foam roller at home to work on those areas. So for the first stretch, it's going to be for the gastroc, which is the big, when you think about your calf muscle, that ball at the top of your lower leg. I'd be working on my right one in this one. So I'm going to bring that foot way behind me. I'm going to keep my heel on the ground, try to get where you can see me, and then I'm just going to lean forward as far as I can, bringing my hip forward, keeping my heel on the ground, and I feel a nice stretch right below my knee in that muscle. And I typically like to hold this for 30 seconds and do it 3 times on each side. We also want to work on the muscle right below there. So between like your Achilles tendon and that ball calf muscle is your soleus. That can get tight and cause issues too. So you just would move your foot, if this is for the bigger or the up higher, you just bring the foot in a little bit, you bend the foot, and then you just really try to get down, squatting into that, keeping the heel on the ground, and you should feel that more, yeah, really good right there, just sitting back into it, getting deep. I feel a really good stretch right here. Again, I typically hold those for 30 seconds, 3 times, and I do it on each side. And what I'm going to show you next is how to use a foam roller at home to kind of just self-massage, work on those tight spots and those muscles yourself. All right, guys, so now what I want to talk about is how you can use a foam roller at home to kind of work on some of those tight spots that you found in, again, the gastroc or the calf muscle just below there above the Achilles tendon in the soleus muscle. So what I typically do at home, I usually do this after my runs. If you've watched other videos I talk about, I don't do a lot of stretching before I run, I just warm up. So usually after my runs, I try to work on those muscles or the day after. So what you'll do is you just have the foam roller, and you can start maybe up top, scoot back a little bit. And so you just get the foam roller on your muscles there, and then you put your other leg just to add some weight on top of that muscle. And then what you're going to do is just roll side to side. And as you do that, you'll probably, like I've got a big knot right there. Find a knot, roll up and down on it, side to side, for like 20 to 30 seconds or until you feel the pain just kind of go away in that knot. The other thing you can do is get right on it and then spell the ABCs with your foot. So just kind of make that shape of the letters with your foot. And all that does is it just kind of works the tissue around. And if you really search, you're going to find all kinds of just gnarly stuff in those muscles. For me, it's typically more in the soleus, so more like here. If I get down there and really go side to side, I've got some nasty spots. Again, I'm a runner, so I'm always working on these areas, because when you lose flexibility in these muscles, again, you're more likely to have injuries to the foot. So, just a few minutes of finding those spots, rolling them out, spelling the ABCs with your foot, side to side, up and down. You'll find a lot of spots in there you didn't even know you had. So that will help with that ankle flexibility. Again, we're trying to prevent injuries from running, especially in the foot with calf tightness. It's been shown that you're more likely to injure those areas with tightness in those areas. So give these things a shot. I think they'll really help, and I'll talk to you soon.